Tranquilo, hombres. Por favor. Calm down.
Episode 11.
Alright, mate, how you doing?
Not too bad.
Have you had your haircut?
I did.
Looks smart.
Did it myself earlier. Angel helped me with the back.
Did it yourself?
Uh,
Oh, nice. That's pretty good. I'd never have guessed.
it's fairly tight. I mean, there's not much can go wrong
That's
really.
true, yeah. You had a good week?
Yeah, not bad. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole on YouTube with nuclear power plants and stuff. It started with a Chernobyl one. The stuff just baffles me. I get how it works, but they were showing inside reactors and stuff. It's like magic, like.
Yeah, I know. With like
mad.
the little rods going into things.
But they were showing pictures of other ones, like a startup of it, and like you just see it glowing. It's like something you would see out of a Star Trek movie or something.
Yeah.
It's mad. But anyway, it's fascinating stuff.
I always remember whenever I watch those documentaries, I'm always like, those people who work there.
I was like, they were even doing a tour there, and I'm like, are you sure it's safe to do a tour there? And it's probably not, like, you know what I mean?
I'd be the same. I'd be like, I don't even want to be within fucking 5 miles of this place.
But I watched a show. They're the 5 most radioactive places on Earth. Like, the third one is Chernobyl. The first one is Fukushima.
Mm.
Like, people don't talk about that enough. Like, that Fukushima is actually worse than fucking Chernobyl. But like,
I think they've got a very good whatever they give to people. They make sure that people are safe there. Don't they?
Yeah. They, like the PPE and all that stuff. Like, yeah, no, for sure. The people are not getting exposed to it as much, but like, it is literally number 1 most radioactive place on the planet.
Isn't that why Godzilla is Japanese?
Yeah, definitely.
I always thought it had something to do with that. Like, it's like the perfect sort of environment for a Godzilla lizard.
But also what kind of fuck me, like the 5 of them are kind of related to nuclear power or nuclear bombs, and you're kind of going, maybe that's like, there's none of them is like a natural place, if you know what I mean. It's like, oh, this is a natural waterfall of radioactivity. All of them are man-made. Yeah. Like, there's 1 or 2 of them were like dump sites for spent fuel cells, and then there's a few other ones where they dropped bombs, and then there's Chernobyl and Fukushima. They're all man-made, like. So maybe we should be kind of careful about it. But anyway, we're waffling on about. But,
I've had I mean, I just, apart from like everywhere I go, everyone calls me fat. That's the only problem I've had this week, basically.
Yeah. You told me this during the week.
It's happened a lot, to be honest.
I'm staying very quiet because I'm about 4 times bigger than Finn, so.
Well, I think that's like for listeners, that is something you have to kind of get used to with the Chinese.
Yeah.
It's not like a malicious thing. It's not a malicious thing.
It's not. They just say it.
But they do like to tell you when you've put on some weight. They really do.
But in fairness, I guess I've gone past that phase because they all know me and they all know I'm fat for years. So, but you're kind of normal size, and then I suppose if you put on a bit,
I think that's what it is. If I've put on some weight, which I know I have, but it's not like, I don't know, I'm not that fucking fat. But anyway, but like I said, I went to play football with a few Koreans. Like 5 players came up and said, "You're fat now," and then I went to.
Maybe they're just trying to psych you out. So
Leonard, our mate, he was calling me dad bod the other day.
He can't fucking talk.
I know, but he's the same because he just sees I've changed and he hasn't changed. But was calling me Pong Shung Di in the pub, which means fat brother in Chinese. And then it happened somewhere else. Oh, obviously in the pub, Jack's wife was just like, "You're fat now." So they go, "When you're fat," and I was like, "I'm fucking all right, I know." And this
maybe Jack didn't say it though.
No, he didn't. No, of course
Jack's packing on the pounds as well. Like.
He didn't say. He's not going to say it. But then this other girl turned up, who was meeting me there. She came in and she said, "You're fat now." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm going to go home in a minute if this keeps going on." And then the worst thing was, I went to, like I told you, the last thing was I went into the fruit shop. I just wanted to buy 2 oranges, and she went, "You're fat." And I'm like, "That's the woman in the fruit shop."
You should have looked at her right in the eye and dropped the oranges on the floor and just walked out.
That's the woman in the fruit shop is telling me I'm fat now. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I get it.
I came in here for a healthy snack, but go fuck yourself.
It's like, I get it. I've heard it all weekend. All right? So anyway, that's my gripe for this week. But, all right, should we move on?
Yes.
Cool.
Room 101.
So, section 1, room 101. I talked about acoustic guitar and karaoke, didn't I, last week?
Kind of unsolicited music in bars, basically.
Not just like the instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just KTV in general.
Jason.
Okay, so as always, I have millions of them to go through, but there was about 5 or 6 people made posts this week on WeChat that there are people that I had on my WeChat from when I had a bar, so I don't really know them as friends, so I don't really give a shit what I'm going to say. In a nutshell, it's the craft beer industry.
All right. Yeah.
No, before I go any further, full disclosure, I brew my beer myself, and I will give them credit for one thing. They've brought back like some of the old style beers, like India Pale, like IPAs and pale ales and stouts. Like Ireland and England had gone a bit boring with beers. Like you go into a pub, like let's say, before this craft beer stuff started, you go into a pub and you were talking basically lagers, right? You had like 10 lagers on tap and maybe Guinness, right? Something like that, right?
Mm. No, there was
England's a bit different now. In fairness, like you always had a few decent ales, like But in Ireland had gone fucking terrible. Like it was basically Smithwick's, Guinness, Carling, Heineken, Carlsberg. That was about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so when they're and don't get me wrong, I'm not having a go at the lads that are like still brewing like good IPAs and good pale ales and stouts and stuff.
What does IPA stand for?
India Pale Ale.
Right.
And it comes from basically back in the long times ago when they used to have to use sailboats to bring beer from England over to America or the Indies, right? Mm. They used to throw a fuckload of hops into it because hops is an antibacterial, but it also makes the beer more bitter. So that's why it became an IPA. So I will give them credit for bringing that kind of stuff back, and for up until maybe 2 years ago, I thought these guys are fucking playing a blinder. They're doing a great job. However, a lot of them are losing the run of themselves now. Like, I'll give you a few examples. Like,
yeah, go on.
Like, I don't like pretentious shit. Like, if somebody wants, to be honest, I don't even like the term craft beer. When people like ask me, "Oh, you make craft beer?" I was like, "No, I don't make craft beer. I make
beer,
decent beer." Do you know what I mean? I make beer with a bit of a flavour and a nice kick to it, basically. But some of the shit that's like coming
Are you about to tell me some of this stuff with like all these crazy ingredients?
This is just today, right? Or no, yesterday and the day before. So like even look at that can already, right? So there's more effort gone into the artwork on the can. Obviously it'll be up on the screen for people on YouTube.
Vocation.
The name to begin with is pretentious as fuck, right?
What does it say at the bottom there? Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club 2.0, which is again super pretentious. And it is a waffle and blueberry blackberry stout. Like, okay,
is it Breakfast Club like the movie 2.0?
well, that was another thing. Even back in the day when I was into the craft beer stuff, when they used to call it a breakfast stout. Look, I'm a roaring alcoholic. I don't have a beer for my breakfast, like.
Is that why it's called because you're supposed to be able to...
Basically, I don't know.
Honestly, mate, I know absolutely fuck all about this. But yeah, that is ridiculous. What did I have in it again? Blueberries and waffles.
Yeah.
How'd you get that in
Waffle, blueberry, breakfast stout.
How'd you get that?
See, that's another thing I need to make clear now as well. Some of the hops will give you like fruity flavours, right? Certain hops will give you like a mango flavour. I don't mind them doing that. But like, no, these lads will. I'm assuming I'm just taking a wild stab to get the waffle flavour. They're probably using oats instead of grain, or they're using oats in addition, which is also not too bad. But with the blueberries, they're probably putting blueberries into it. Like,
well, it wasn't the fruit so much. I was bothered about it.
It was
the waffle.
Who drink like? Anytime I see a lad drinking a fruity beer, like even the Belgians were doing it for years, even before the craft beer. Like I tasted one once and I went, "Nah, get that shit away from me." Like I
don't like a beer that isn't beer colour. know what I mean?
I don't mind the murky IPA was and stuff like that.
That's
but
still a beer colour. I'm talking
yeah.
like fucking bright purple or some shit.
No, this is where I'm like, no, this is not right. Like, Then there was another one that came out, lemon tender cake with mixed berries and mixed berry compote. Right? It's like, fuck off.
I think these people just want a dessert, don't they?
Ras lemon cheesecake parfait. These are beers, like.
These people just want a dessert, I think.
And then the worst one, like Jing'e is a brewery in Beijing. They've come up with this is the one that sent me over the edge. Now I'm gonna have to take a little breath before I say this.
It literally takes the cake. And that's what they all are. They're all bloody cakes. Cheese
cream bubble tea beer. So for people that don't know, there's this like thing in China. It's called bubble tea. It's basically it's like a cold.
I think bubble tea is worldwide now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I think it might be, but go on.
But anyway, it's like a cold cup of tea that they probably put a fuck ton of sugar in, but they put these little...
They're like gelatinous
balls. Now, look, I didn't mind... To be honest, I had one or two of them once in my life. They're not great, like... But it's definitely not something I'd be like, throw a can of fucking Heineken into that there because I think it needs... I think it needs a bit of a beer flavour.
I never like those things because they give you a really wide straw.
Yeah, but that's
I know it is, but when I'm thirsty, I attack a drink, and I nearly fucking died a couple of times because those things will shoot up them straws.
But seemingly, there was a lady they were putting plastic balls in it at some stage in China. This woman was found with like 25 pounds of fucking plastic pellets in her stomach. She was drinking one a day or something, and it turned out they were plastic and they weren't weren't getting digested.
I mean, they taste like plastic even if they're real.
Yeah,
they taste weird.
I don't get it. Like, I want a drink. If I wanted something to eat, I would have got a burger or something. You know what I mean? But
anyway, we digress.
Yeah.
The other point with this is that. And then, would you ever have a cheese cream?
No.
Well, I'm just saying, like, take the beer out of it. Would you even have a cheese cream fucking bubble tea?
No.
Exactly.
No.
So what the fuck have they got this idea from?
Like, and then it's you'll see it on the screen. It's like
that's like saying let's have raspberries on a pizza.
It looks like a fucking milkshake. Like, I mean, if I was in the pub with the people that I drink and one of them turned around with one of these, I'd literally go, "All right, I'm off home. Something's after happening. Something's gone horribly wrong here. Like,
I'm gonna lose me rag."
Yeah, and like it's even. I sent this to you the other day. It's moving into the like. I'm not a huge cocktail fan anyway. To be like, and when I say cocktail, no, I'm not talking about like a gin and tonic or I don't classify them as a cocktail.
That's a mixed drink.
I classify them as a mixed drink. I'd even go as far as saying that like martinis and stuff like that are not really cocktails in my eyes. Again, it's like just mixing two drinks together.
Well, it's a well-established drink.
Yeah, it's that's something I'll come to in a minute. There's a reason why they're well-established. There's a reason why Heineken and Carlsberg and all these lads are huge beer companies. Is because that's what people want to fucking drink. Because I had a bar for 3 years. And that's the other thing that I hate about these people that say that they're into this craft beer thing. They are for one fucking beer, and then they go on back onto Estrella or Carlsberg or whatever you. Yeah. So basically, like, and I feel sorry for bar owners that have like, you know, that are not like, let's say, a craft brewery thing, because I think the craft brewery people go there, they know what they're in for. It's kind of like the music. You go to a music bar for music, but a lot of bars are starting to have to, like, you know, buy into this thing now. So, like, they have to order a couple of kegs of, like, these, you know, fancy fucking virgins pissed with beaver pubes and flavoured beers, right? And it's because customers are putting pressure on them to go, oh, did you hear about this new belching beaver thing? And then you get it, right?
That's a real one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've seen that.
But then you get it, you put it on, right? And the fucker comes in, he has one, he goes, it's not really for me, and he starts drinking Heineken, and you're after spending about $3,000 on the fucking
However,
barrel,
though,
right?
To come at it from another way, like, at least with these, if you can make your own, can't you? You can make your own, and then you're fucking laughing, aren't you? All the way to the bank, really.
Yeah, but that's another thing that I'm probably gonna get. I'm gonna get a hit put out of me now tomorrow morning, because I'm gonna divulge that lads, all these craft beer places, especially if they're local, and I'm not talking about China, I'm talking about all over the world, right? Because I brewed my own beer for 3 or 4 years. I know how much it costs, right? What they're charging you in the pub and what they're charging you...
What it costs them to make.
What it costs to make. Now, of course, I understand people need to make profit and stuff like that. But trust me, I won't go into actual facts and figures, but trust me, they're making fucking bank. Like.
I've often thought that because not only you don't have to go to a brewery, like a standard brewery and buy a keg. You make it yourself, and then you sell it for like twice the price.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is insane.
I was calling one of the bars out in Ireland.
It should be cheap. It should be
tier. That it depends, right? So if let's say you're in China and somebody's importing Guinness to China, then no, it won't be cheaper.
I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking
but versus let's say your own stuff, right? But Carlsberg and these are brewed in China. I can tell you the kegs of that it's I don't know how they can make it that cheap. Like it's ridiculous. Like
really?
Like to be honest with you, now even when I go in to buy cans out of the supermarket, I'm kind of going, Jesus Christ, I should just get a keg at home. Like, do you know what I mean? It's that ludicrous. Like but like I had only I could only make 100 litres, which so the bigger you get, obviously the more you can make and the cheaper it becomes because you become more efficient and things like that. So if I was making it for basically 5 RMB a pint, like, and you can sell, like, there's lads selling it for 50, 60, 70 a pint.
Well, that's what I only get a little bit annoyed because when you walk into these pubs, there's like, I've been in sometimes there's like 40, 50 beers. You've never heard of any of them, and loads of them are like 9%, 10%. It's like, I want to have a drink, not fucking go to hospittal. You know what I mean?
And that's I
don't know what any of them are. It's like, well, this one's Jeffrey's surfboard. I'm like, I don't know what that is. And over here, this is a gerbil scrotum. It's a little, it's a bit lighter. I'm like, what?
A double Russian imperial stout, and you're
How
like,
the fuck do I know?
And then because it's called like double is normally means because it's like it's stronger and it's in general it's about double the percentage of an average beer, but then they automatically charge double the price.
Yeah.
This is fucking waffle, right? It definitely should be a little bit more expensive than the standard one, but it shouldn't be double the price because that's not how it works.
I've always thought it was a bit of a racket.
Just because it's double the percentage doesn't mean that it's cost you double the amount. That's horseshit.
Because you get it, and sometimes you get it in just like a little glass.
No, they'll give you a thimbleful, like.
Yeah, and that'll be the same as like a pint.
Yeah, because that was they're charging 110 in this place. I won't mention its name. It's a craft beer. 110 for like this.
That's about 11 quid.
12% double imperial stout thing, right? And you're getting about 250 ml. So that's like,
11 quid for less than a pint.
Half a pint, best, not less than half a pint, like. No, look, I'm not saying that they should be giving it in pints, because if you drank a pint of it, you'd be on your back, but they should not be charging that much. But see, the problem is people because I will stick by this.
But it's like a little novelty, isn't it? It's like,
I did say it about 3 years ago that I firmly believe this craft beer thing is a fad, and I gave it 5 years. It'll probably last longer than 5 years, but eventually the big boys, like even Guinness, are stepping up. Like they've started making a bit of a fancier lager. And they've started like putting some other fancier stouts into bottles and stuff like that. And eventually they'll just kill them all off again. Which I'm not keen on killing off the small man either. I think the lads that are like making good solid like pale ales and IPAs and stuff and selling them for fair prices, I have no beef with them. That's what I just want to make clear now, because there's a lot of them I respect and I do think are sound fellas. But it's these ones that have lost the run of themselves, basically, that I have a problem
cheese,
with. Like,
cream, waffle, bloody stout.
And then the food, even they serve in their places, like they're serving it on a bit of slate, and they're trying to be all this like fucking environmentally friendly, baby.
Well, to be honest,
or yet the cunts are dumping 7 tons of caustic down the fucking drain every day of the week as well. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, like I do like in what I like in Tianjin is at least around where like
I'm not just specifically talking about Tianjin. No, this is worldwide. Like
I'm just saying, around Tianjin there's a lot of tiny little sort of like I guess startup pubs or like people they're tiny little places, like people's little living rooms or like waiting rooms, and they're tiny, but it's a nice sort of vibe because they're like hidden away and you can go somewhere a bit different. But in all honesty, like you go and a lot of them don't have draft beer. It's all just like imported cans of like random shit that they've got from America or Europe or. And it's kind of interesting, and to look at all the different. But to be honest with you, the labels on the cans are more.
Yeah, it's like you're going to an art gallery.
They're more appealing than the beer to me. Like, and some of the cans are like 85 quid fucking can
for a can, which is ludicrous. Like, it's
that's about £8.50 for a can when you can get like a pint. In most pubs, a draft is about 30 to 40.
30 to 45 range, basically.
And then you're getting like a big can for like 85 quid. And some of them are bought more than that. Some of them are like 100 quid a can. It's like, and then you drink it and he didn't even really like it that much.
You're forcing
and you're on your back.
Yeah. You're forcing it down half the time because
some of them are as much as wine. It's like I wouldn't drink a fucking 500ml can of wine. Yeah. Well, I would, but not like in a glass.
No, but I like the thing is because I have like even when I make my own beer, I always stick to the ales and the stouts and the lagers and the pilsners or whatever,
the normals.
And like people are, why don't you experiment? Because beer tastes.
Because you won't fucking drink it.
Because beer tastes fucking good, mate. Yeah. I like how that tastes. I don't need to throw a banana in it.
Well, that's how I feel. I don't really when I want a pint, you just want to drink a pint of beer. I don't want cheese, cream, waffles, raspberries, blueberries, or whatever the fuck else you want to put in.
And your hamburger served on a piece of fucking cheesecloth wrapped on a slate or something.
With no top. Open burgers. Yeah. What were they about?
Yeah, I'd get that shit away from me as well. They're you know what I mean?
They're like, burger.
Every one of them now has like a keg they've cut open a keg as a urinal, and they have like a fucking, it's all the same now. Like at the beginning, it was like unique. Oh, cool! Look, they've made the toilet look like a part of the brewery, but now you're just kind of going, oh, it's another one of these. Like, and
I used to laugh in England for a while. Like, I just noticed it happening a few years back. I haven't been back to England for a couple of years, but a few years back, every time you ordered a gin and tonic, it came in a jam jar. Now, what's that? What's this here?
Do you run out of glasses or what? Yeah.
Can you not? I'll wait. You can wash a glass. Yeah. What's this jam jar?
No, like you said, I'm not also shitting on these little cozy places that do that, and like because there are a lot of these little small cozy places that, they've been there for centuries, and they were doing that back before all of this became hip and popular, right? Mm. But I just hate the ones that have jumped on the bandwagon. You know what I mean? And
these like out of control flavors, I'm with you.
It's just nonsense. It's
all right.
I reckon nobody asked for this, and I think they're so expensive. The reason they're so expensive is it was like their experiment. So, but now you have to pay for the experiment. Do you know what I mean? So, like, they've taken the risk of dumping, like, whatever the local fruit lady was throwing away into their fermenters, along with a decent beer that would have been fine on its own. But now you have to pay for that. Like,
well, I definitely agree with that. It's almost like you're giving me something I've never tried before, and also looks completely batshit insane. And not only do you want me to buy it, you want me to pay 11 quid for it for one drink. I mean, come on.
Exactly. Like, and like, I know I'm coming at it from as an ex-bar owner, coming from a business perspective. But I even had this discussion with one of the microbrewery owners in Tianjin, and he agreed with me that people only drink pale ales, lagers, stouts, and IPAs. All these other fucking saisons and blondes and blah blah blah, they'll have one, maybe two, and then they're on to the. And
then they'll be like, "I'll have a pint of John Smith's, please, mate."
Exactly, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And that's not shitting on people or blah blah blah, but it's just, and that tells me, that speaks everything to me. It's if people they're only having that one or two so that they can take their Instagram picture. Look at me, I'm all flash drinking a cheesy fucking cock, right?
I've got a beer with a flake in it.
Yeah. And then it's all of a sudden, all right, enough of that now, lads. Let's get hammered, and they're onto the Carling Black Label.
Yeah. And that leaves the bar owner holding his fucking dick in his hand, basically.
Yeah, because he's left with this keg that cost him like 150 times more than what a keg of Carlsberg would have cost. So,
all right, well, yeah. I mean, just yeah. I mean, like I said, I think I agree with you. This is quite specific. I don't want to get rid of little bars doing their own thing, importing beers for people to try. And also, I mean, if it's in cans, it's okay because you're not stuck with a keg that's going off, and you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, what the thing you just showed me, yeah, room 101.
No, and basically, I'm trying to. I don't know how I'll word it on our little mosaic of things that have gone in, because I'm not like I did say the craft beer industry, which is probably not the right thing, but it's this pretentious shit,
just out of control beer flavors. Yeah,
out of control beer flavors. There's a good one. Yeah.
All right, done.
Okay, cool. Snacks unknown. Last week we had some what's it called? That stinky fruit.
Oh, durian chips.
Durian chips and some seaweed and stuff. That was for me personally. That was the worst thing we've eaten so far.
But it was different for me.
You didn't mind it too much.
That seaweed stuff was worse. That's worse. That
yeah.
was weird. That was really weird.
I take the lamb's cock over the durian. Like, to be honest with you.
Oh God.
Yeah, I would.
All right. Well, this week we've got. All right. Well, this was actually one of the first things I ever bought. So it's been in my fridge for a while, but honestly, when I look at it, there's no way this thing is going off. Trust me, there's no fucking way. Well, I'll get it out.
Oh, you got 2 spoons out. Oh,
That's what we've got first of all. Yeah, I've got a bit of a bad leg, so I couldn't go out, so I'm using up all my old. I've refrigerated it, so.
Oh, these things are.
I've never tried one of these, but it's got one of the fat straws I was on about. But it's I suppose I don't know. It looks like a sort of.
It's a jelly thing.
It's a jelly with, just like bits in it.
It claims to be fruit, but I reckon
it looks weird. Doesn't it?
It's probably plastic. Let me just take an old picture of it.
But I guess this one is I don't know. It seems to be, I don't know, orange flavour. Can't tell. It's not orange, but
my kids love these things.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because this one I bought in the Chinese shop. I didn't get this from 7-Eleven. This was from the Chinese shop. This one.
I was never into jelly, even as a kid. I never really loved. I love jellies as if into candies, but I hated like.
I didn't mind it. We used to have little jelly moles. We used to make our own jellies. Sometimes they had a rocket ship and something else.
Nah, never really into it.
But it wasn't. Yeah, I think I preferred the process of just making it.
Yeah.
Oh, it smells maybe like that lychee.
Ah, okay.
Have a smell. Can you smell it?
Yeah, it is lychee. It is.
So yeah, lychee jelly with, I guess, what purports to be bits of lychee in it, but I'm sceptical.
Yeah,
to say the least.
Because we started this podcast about 6 months ago, so
definitely lychee. Yeah, all right, I'll go first.
Belt away. The consistency, I'd say is terrible, is it?
I mean, lychee's a nice flavour. Why don't I understand why they put those horrible little chunks in it? It's not too bad.
It's nice, like it's.
It's just sweet. And
it's a weird sensation, sucking solids through a straw, I will say.
I don't understand why people like the little bit. That's the same reason I don't understand why people like that bubble tea. I don't know why people.
No, that is like the similar kind of feeling, isn't it? When you drink,
it's like you've got something kind of nice and sweet.
Yeah.
But you also have to chew some dreadful shit at the same time. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it basically tastes exactly how I thought it would. Oh shit.
Chemical fruit, like, basically, because, I mean...
It's totally unnatural.
Do you know what I think I'll do with it? I think I'll dump it into my beer, because that'll definitely...
I wouldn't be surprised. There must be lychee beers knocking around.
Of course there is.
Well, the next thing we've got, I remember... Do you remember when you got something from the Mouth Party range?
It says it's a party in my mouth.
I think, actually, I couldn't really tell what it was, but now looking at it, I think it might just be like kimchi.
It looks a bit square to be kimchi.
Yeah, actually, I think...
I bet it's tofu flavoured kimchi.
I think that is
Kimchi
I
pepper
think that might
tofu.
be. I've done this before, haven't I? Gone, I think that's a Chinese character further. Just completely
Yeah,
fucking wrong.
let's not go down that road.
I think it might be bean.
I bet you it's tofu. It's tofu.
You think?
Kimchi flavoured tofu, I'm guessing.
You reckon?
I guess. Let me take a...
Anyway, it's bound to be a party in the mouth.
And this is a party in your mouth. This is the party in my mouth. Should be. Top plate.
Yeah, he looks happy, doesn't he? The mouth party dude.
No, the last experience with this stuff, I was pleasantly surprised.
Oh yeah, it was quite good.
No, I like kimchi, but I hate the fucking smell of it.
Oh, I think you're right, mate.
Yeah.
So is it just a range of tofu then, mouth
I
party?
think the mouth party is tofu and they're trying to do a bit of everything.
Guess what it smells like? Every other fucking thing, yeah. Have a smell. It smells exactly like that spicy stuff.
But I like that smell.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I bet it's probably going to be good, isn't it? It doesn't look great, does it? I mean, it doesn't look great, but...
I have a feeling this is going to be alright.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
That's well good.
That's very good, isn't it? Yeah.
It tastes like...
Because I quite like tofu as long as it's
not unlike-
stiff, you know, like I don't like the soft shit.
It's not like the consistency of
That's good, though.
the egg, you know, the tea eggy kind of one. It's good. I get that.
Yeah, it's a nice... Yeah, I like the texture.
Oh, that's delicious.
Taste is good.
The only thing that worries me about them things is like any food that I think that can last like that long in a packet, you know, that you don't have to throw out after like a week or two. I always what are they doing with it?
Yeah. Well, that's why I never drank Sunny Delight in my whole life.
Yeah.
Because they only put Sunny Delight in the fridge to make it look good, but actually,
Doesn't need it.
Yeah, if there was like if an asteroid hit the Earth, it'd be like cockroaches and Sunny Delight. That's all that'd be left, you know. Well, that was basically it. I've only got one more thing, but I'm sure it's going to be nice. But I just like the name.
I love it.
That's very good, though. Because it just had another funny name. It's called Wake Up Kiss Plum.
No idea what it is.
Well, I guess it's a plum, but it's just I like the little bird on it. She's fucking having a good time.
She's having a laugh.
The cat's loving himself.
Yeah.
Cat's enjoying himself, and Wake Up Kiss Plum. Sounds like reminds me of that movie with Robert Downey Jr. in it. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Well, they're individually wrapped. Oh, I bet it's good.
Dry plum, is it?
Yeah, it's just like a sugared plum in it.
If you don't like these, we'll turn it into a bit of brown sauce.
Looks like a little bag of crack.
Yeah.
It's got little crystals.
Finn's after buying me a couple of rocks.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's good. Sweet, sweet crack.
This is another thing that I was going to put into Room 101 is fucking Chinese plastic.
I have no problem. Go ahead. Let's go lengthways.
I just find all their packaging is like, I don't know what.
It is very... Their crisps are like ridiculously sealed, aren't they?
You nearly need a plasma cutter to get into them, like.
The crisps are like that.
Yeah.
You can never open a crisp bag.
Very good. Very good.
Like when you were a kid, you used to open a bag of crisps.
From the top?
From the top.
But here you have to rip them sideways.
Slip them on the side. Which is...
Or scissors them, like, but...
It's actually not a bad way to eat crisps if you're sharing them, but...
Who shares crisps? Like?
But it took me a couple of years to work out there was another way to open a bag of crisps. I just sit there going, you get it.
No, because I've often, like, because you know, you end up putting so much force in it, then eventually it gives, and it's just like crisps all over the room. Like,
I'm going to finish off this tofu.
No, that was good.
You want a bit more?
No, I'm good. They were really good. Because I got plums. I like myself a bit of dry fruit now, to be honest with you. I actually even bought a dehydrator off somebody, which I still haven't used. I must get into like doing my own stuff, because I reckon these are laced in sugar and stuff.
Of course, yeah.
But like a bit of dry fruit isn't bad for you. Like if you're not lacing it in sugar, don't eat too much of it. But the one I got had the seeds still in it, and I hate when seeds are in stuff, especially if it's dried. You know. So.
Anyway, that mouth party range.
Wow. Now we can have a real party in the mouth, Abby.
They're good.
If they want to fucking sponsor this podcast,
Yeah.
I'm all about.
Imagine us at the start of the podcast having said this podcast is sponsored by Mouth Party.
I would love to be sponsored by Mouth Party, because that's basically what this podcast is. It's a mouth party.
It's a mouth party, yeah.
Alright, that's Snacks Unknown.
Cool. so we're on to Q&A. This week it's Finn's turn, and he sent me the question.
I'll do this one first. The first thing is kind of like almost like a topic. It's guilty pleasures. Mm-hmm. Guilty pleasures. So I think now everyone's got their own little guilty pleasures. The way my understanding of that is something that you enjoy, kind of, if you're on your own, but you might not talk about it so much because people might laugh at you, or it might not be considered, cool or whatever the fuck. So I know I've got a few myself, definitely. And so my question to Jason was, I want to know your guilty pleasure with regards to music, some kind of musical guilty pleasure that you might have, and also your guilty pleasure with regards to film or television. So yeah, I mean, over to you, basically.
Okay. So the music one for me was fairly easy, and
I feel like we might learn something about it. I'm looking forward to seeing what yours is, to be honest with you.
Basically, yeah. This is almost like coming out. This is how I would imagine coming out.
This is the thing. This is something that I hope it's something that you never thought you'd be discussing with me.
I would never openly admit
you.
this. Well, I guess I'm openly admitting it now because I've been asked. But I like myself a bit of Westlife, to be honest with you.
Oh, jeez. All right.
It's like, put it this way,
actually, I think I knew that because it used to come on in the pub sometimes.
Yeah.
And I used to be sitting down going, "Fuck is this?"
I don't know. It's like I often caught myself humming a Westlife tune, and then one day I just realised, fuck it.
I actually like these guys. What's your favourite Westlife tune, mate?
You Raise Me Up, obviously.
God. All right.
But I remember, I was in the car, and it was before our car still has a fucking. It's just a nightmare to play music from your phone on it. So there's a bust of CDs in there. So Angel has her tests. Obviously it's a lot of Chinese stuff and blah blah blah. But I remember looking in there and going, the best of Westlife, perfect. That's basically all that's ever played in the car.
Okay. So I remember I used to hear that a bit in the pub, and I used to think, I knew you didn't mind it. I used to think you were being enabled by Richard. I think he didn't mind it, did he either?
I'd say he's more of a Kylie Minogue man now, but...
Oh, well, you just preempted me there, mate. You just preempted me there. But my guilty... And I suppose it's more like a childhood guilty pleasure. I wouldn't say I listen to it so much now, although that's what it was. It was when I was a kid. It wasn't just me, it was the whole family, but we used to like a bit of Kylie and Jason back in the day. You know what I mean? And actually...
But when I started thinking about this more deeper, does anybody really hate that music too? Because...
Well, I think maybe
or
you're
are
right.
Are we now taking a big leap forward for all men and women or whatever that won't admit that they like a bit of pop or a bit of,
Well, this is the thing. I think my general musical guilty pleasure was a bit of pop music. I love a good pop tune, that Step Back in Time by Kylie Minogue. I think is a brilliant tune.
Yeah.
I remember I was always saying put that on in the pub, and you and Richard were like, fuck that. Even you two would be like, no. But then we'd have bloody Westlife on or whatever the fuck. But and to be honest, I've started to think. I used to like Kylie Minogue, and do you remember Jason Donovan Sealed with a Kiss? And what was that other one he did? Too Many Broken Hearts in the Way.
Sure, that was... I don't know.
It was definitely Jason Donovan.
Are you sure?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And the Sealed with a Kiss was Seal, no?
No, Sealed with a Kiss was an old sort of 50s tune, but Jason Donovan redid it. Seal didn't do Seal with a Kiss. He's just called Seal. Seal did Kiss from a Rose.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
And Seal was good.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure.
But so basically, it was they were all the Stock Aitken and Waterman crew. If you remember, they did sort of manufactured pop, and it was it was all right, man. And that Step Back in Time I used to love. And when Kylie Minogue went off on her own, some of her tunes were really good. And they were so good that I actually listened to her latest album on the music app they have here, because she did an album and she did some songs with Giorgio Moroder, who I love, who's Daft Punk sort of inspiration, and it actually wasn't very good. It was all right, actually. It was all right, but but I listened to some of her new stuff and it was okay, but it wasn't a patch on just Step Back in Time. to be honest.
Okay.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I even liked. I used to think "Toxic" by Britney Spears was a brilliant pop tune.
Yeah, like
Brilliant pop
to be
song.
honest, from a music point of view, I have a lot of guilty pleasures. Like I listen to a bit of like even to be honest with you, Atomic Kitten, some of the Spice Girls stuff comes on.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, whatever.
This
like,
one-
leave it play.
I wasn't
Yeah.
even going to mention this one because I'm not even that guilty about it. But I like No Doubt
They're awesome. Though.
Good, okay, fine. I wasn't-
I wouldn't class them as the same as them.
because sometimes when I say I like No Doubt, people are like the fuck. Like,
no,
but,
that was brilliant. Like,
but that No Doubt album, that Rock Steady, is a
brilliant,
album.
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm glad we've. I feel, I feel like we
feel,
know each other a little bit better now. Hopefully, we've opened the doors for some other people to talk about Kylie. And I know my mum loves Rick Astley. She absolutely loves it.
Not a bad tune, like I wouldn't go around openly admitting that I liked him.
We used to do the dance for her. He's doing his little fucking legs and his clickety fingers. So, all right. What about your guilty pleasure with regards to film or
I
television?
really struggled with this one, and I because the problem is it made me realise that I haven't watched movies in such a fucking long time.
Really?
That I was like struggling. I even
Because I remember when I asked you this question before, I was laughing because I admitted I had said I like Grease and Little Shop of Horrors, and you were like,
I thought that
I can't believe you're admitting that to me, and I actually told you that's not my guilty pleasure. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even guilty about that.
The only thing, I like this is a bit shit now. I feel that I'm letting the side down. The only movie that I thought was fairly alright that everybody else said that was fucking terrible
Go on, then.
was Showgirls. I was like,
Oh, that's different. You just like seeing all the tits.
yeah, but I couldn't.
I like Showgirls.
But it was like I got to see like okay, she wasn't.
Out the bird from Saved by the Bell. with the
Exactly.
breast out.
You got to see one of the Saved by the Bell girls' boobies. She wasn't the best one out of Saved by the Bell, but alright, she'll do like.
She wasn't. What was the name?
Kelly Kapalski, was it?
Fucking
And then you
hell,
had,
mate.
Lisa Turtle.
There's your bloody guilty pleasure, mate. Saved by the. Nah.
Yeah, no, but kids used to love that.
Well,
I was going to say that, like Saved by the Bell, and there was another one with the two twins.
Oh, Sweet Valley High.
Yeah, man, my brother used to be like, "What are you?" Maybe that's what I should have said.
I'm not sure this is a guilty pleasure. You just looking at tits.
No, because but there was a Sweet Valley High was that was a girly teenager show.
it was,
like.
yeah.
But like my brother used to be like, "What are you watching this shit?"
Did
for?"
you watch Beverly Hills 90210?
No, not really, not
I did.
really. But actually, that's because you told me movie to begin with, so I only thought movie, and then I did think of Sweet Valley High afterwards. So
I
I
used to
maybe
watch
change
that.
it.
I used to get up on a Saturday morning to watch that.
My brother was like, "What are you watching that?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Going obviously for the two blonde girls."
Which was
that
your
are in
favourite?
it.
Did you like the cookies and cream girl next door? Or did you like the leather clad slag?
The leather clad slag?
Of course you did. Of course you fucking did. I reckon I've got quite a lot of guilty pleasures with the guys. Well, I could think of more TV, to be honest. I'll tell you my movie one. You might laugh at me. But,
Well, you're no, to be honest with you.
have you got more? Sorry.
No, but your credentials, like whatever, like after saying that you like Little Shop of Horrors, there is nothing that can shock me. Like, so go ahead.
Well, I'd say definitely my film guilty pleasure is I just love I love a little romantic comedy, mate. I really like if there's a film with Jennifer Aniston, I'll watch it. I just think they're not like my favourite movies by any stretch, but
I think she's a good actress.
if it's
though,
like
to be
late
honest
at
with
night,
you.
and they're kind of heartwarming in a way, and if you're in the mood and you don't really want to think and you just want to watch a movie, she's very watchable.
very,
in a
very
movie,
watchable, like,
you know what I mean? Like there's one called Along Came Polly. I don't remember this. And she did one with Adam Sandler. It's all these ones with Adam Sandler, which some people hate, but
not a big fan.
I could just watch them. And there's one where she did Just Go With It, where she pretended to be his.
The one with Vince Vaughn is excellent, though. That one, the
breakup.
Yeah,
I just watched that the other week.
I love it. I like it.
So that was my guilty pleasure with movies, little sort of romantic comedies that I'd never...
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't come in and say, I bloody watched Along Came Polly last night, it was amazing. Like, people come in and go, watch Goodfellas again last night, it was amazing. But you wouldn't come in the pub and go, what did you do last night? I just watched Along Came Polly and Just Go With It.
As you can't see us, I have, like, slid my seat like a metre away from Finn. I'm normally a bit closer now. Now I get more.
Come on, give us a hook, mate. And that one with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore when she'd lost her memory.
50 dates or
50
something.
First Dates.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I don't know what it is, but it's just sometimes you're just like, oh, it's just nice. It's wholesome.
See, I struggled with it
Wholesome
because I'm like I didn't really think about going back that far, like to Sweet Valley High and stuff, because I kind of just thought, oh shit, he's going to ask me something new, and I was like started trying to think of new movies that everybody hates, but
it could have been.
But all the movies that everybody hates, I hate as well. Like so.
Well, let me tell you that my other one, the only other one I had was TV things, and it's basically kind of reality shows, but not. I'm not really into.
Yeah, that was another one that the likes of like Big Brother and them.
Well, that's
brother,
what
my brother would be also going like, what are you watching?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm
like?
not really into them. However, like I think they're very dangerous. If you watch,
I get suckered.
If you watch 45 minutes of one, all of a sudden you're like,
you're in, like,
all right, I'll have a look. But I never really like the ones about the one that are on an island and that. Like
I love Island.
My sister and my sister-in-law love Love Island.
Terrible.
And they were always telling, I was always taking the piss going, you get out to go and watch Love Island now. And my sister-in-law would be saying, sister-in-law is called Anna. She'll, if she ever listens to this, she'll be laughing now because she's just like, I know you love it. I know you love it. And I'm like, I really, really don't. But I like the ones where I know they're fake. I know it's like, but the editing is so good that I know, because you see when these reality people come, when they talk about it, they're like, oh, it didn't happen anything like that, the way they've edited it together. But I think that's very skillful. Let me give you two examples that I love, and I'm sure one of them you might, I don't know if you've even heard of it, but one of them I'm sure you'd be like, what? Yeah. I was just watching one before you came. Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares.
Love it. But I wouldn't say
Can't get enough of it.
But I don't think that's a guilty pleasure.
But it's such bullshit, man. It's just
of
like...
course it is, but it's just...
But all I'm saying...
What's not to like about an angry fucking Scotsman or whatever he is?
Well, that one's not too bad. That's
shouting at a lot of Americans is fucking... It's heaven.
Exactly. But all I'm saying is, I know that I'm watching something that's been like cut and chopped together to make it look like something's happened.
Yeah.
But the other one I really like, and I swear to God, last week I watched the first 3 series of this again because I love it so much. It was the one with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie.
Oh, yeah.
The Simple Life.
Yeah, that was...
Mate, that is one of the best fucking produced TV shows ever, in my opinion. Watch it again.
That's a big fucking statement.
This is probably my real guilty pleasure, but I swear to God, it's so fake and it's so staged. But I just want to say, I won't go on about it too much, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I think there was like 4 or 5 series, but it gets the first 3 are just sublime television. I think. But the guy, there's one person I want to say, whoever does the sound effects on that TV series.
Could you come work for us, man?
I swear to God, he deserves some kind of award. I swear to God, like they'd be in the first series. They're just living in the countryside, and they have to go and work on like dairy farms and all this stuff. And then they're obviously like it girls, and then like they're wearing like high heels and shit. But he'll say like, okay, you've got to stick your arm up this cow's arse, and they'll look to the left, and the sound effect goes yeah. And then they'll be like, go on, and then one will look the other way and they go yeah.
I do remember.
It's just like you.
When we
he is so good. Whoever does, or he or she is so good at sound effects.
When we started this podcast and I was on about should we add some sound effects in, Finn was like, yeah, let's do it, like The Simple Life. I remember.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did. And I kind of remember.
Oh, look, I've already admitted it then.
I know, but I just like left it go well over my head because they're like, I have no idea what he's fucking on about.
Mate, honestly, if you don't, at least watch a couple of episodes of the first series because it's absolute drivel from start to finish. It's just like one stage thing after another. But the sound effects guy turns it into just an absolute, just like 25 minutes of pleasure every episode. Like it is brilliant. Like the dog will look up and it'll go ba-doink. Stuff like it's brilliant. It's like watching a live comic book. I think it's really good. So yeah, guilty pleasures. Done. All right, done. Anyway, I think what we can take from this is Simple Life is an amazing show.
It is.
Slang War.
Slang Wars.
Slang War. Slang Wars.
My favourite part of the evening. Do you remember the score?
5-4.
To me,
I had a massive comeback last week.
you did, yeah. I was nice to you last week.
You weren't but that doesn't mean that I'm going to.
No, I wouldn't expect it.
I might be,
But the Brummy slang was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Round the back of raccoons. I'll always remember. Yeah. All right, go on then.
I
5-4.
decided I was going to go to like Limerick or something, that I was like, nah, Cork has so much more to give. So
You're just going to
This
do
is
pure Cork.
Cork
aren't you?
number 3, because
Cork 3.
okay.
Cork harder.
Round 1.
So the first word is, I'm going to be even nice to you. I'm going to tell you whether it's an adjective, a noun, or whatever else. But septic,
Oh, I already know. It's a noun, isn't it?
adjective,
Oh, shit. All right.
septic.
Oh, fuck, because... Well, all right, well, maybe it's like... It might be Cockney rhyming slang, but... Because a septic tank is a Yank, an American.
No,
I
I want. That's not your guess.
Okay. Septic. Well, because septic is a real adjective. It means like something that's kind of got infected. So I would say
But it's not that though.
septic would be in Cork. Septic would be ill.
No. So I will give you your sentence.
No.
He's pure septic, like lamping himself in the mirror after his bazaar.
So a baz is a haircut. Angry.
Oh my god! I thought you get it after that.
Oh, fuck.
I'll give you one more shot, because you were fairly kind to me.
Lamping himself in the mirror after his baza, which is a haircut.
He's pure septic, like lamping himself in the mirror after his bazaar.
arrogant, vain.
Yeah, I'll give you a point. Vain.
Really?
Boom! Even I was, when I started reading these, I was like, oh my god, I remember. And like, it doesn't even make sense really, like, because a septic is like a septic tank. It's like, but I can remember like lads going, he's pure fucking septic. Look at him, like he loves
Really?
he loves himself. He's pure
Look at him in his
septic.
flash new jeans, a septic cunt. Well, like I said, when I was in England, my mate always used to say, oh, you know, oh, there was a septic in the pub last night, and that meant an American. Septic tank.
It shows how confusing it could get if a Cockney and a fucking Cork lad.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's full of himself. No, an American.
And if a Cork had met like a Cockney, he might be like, he's a right septic.
Yeah.
So I got 1 point.
1 point.
Thanks, mate. You did give me a good go there.
No problem. But in fairness, you were very kind to me last week, but that's where it stops.
And there was at least I remembered Baza, didn't I?
You did?
I did
Which
remember
I like to see that you're learning.
He's
as
pure
well.
fucking septic. Like, what's lamping himself in the mirror? Just looking
Lamping,
at himself.
like
Lamping, looking at himself.
looking.
See, he did fuck me there. I was there a second.
Round 2.
Spondoolies.
Money.
Ah, for fuck's sake! Too easy.
Did I get it?
The sentence was going to be, and this is so Cork as well. I want to go to Lanzarote, but I have no spondoolies.
Oh, my fucking 8 points. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, because I think we had a similar one, but I think we should say spondoolix.
Shit. Yeah, I thought that one was going to be too easy. All right.
But money, yeah.
Spondoolix.
Fucking boom! Come on. I've got to go for another 2 points.
So you got 3 points in total so far.
I won 8 points. What? Oh, we forgot to. We were going to mention the end game of this week.
Oh yeah. Before we go any further, because we did realise that there could be no end to this.
That's why I'm getting so excited. So it's the first person to get to 15 points.
That's right, yeah. And then we're going to change it to a different game.
And we probably should. I think we should do as well, because I went first. So if I get to 15 points, you get one more chance to get
if I'm within range. If I'm not within range, then there's no point doing it, I guess, right?
Okay, that makes sense,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I'm within 6 points, because the max is 6 points.
Then you get
if
one more
not,
try.
you've won. But if
Yeah. So it's the first to 15 slang wars,
Cool.
yeah.
So you're on 8 now.
Halfway there.
Round 3.
Oh,
The last one is 50'd.
50'd.
It's
a verb.
a verb.
Like you got 50'd.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the first thing that popped into my head, knocked back from a nightclub or a pub.
No. Not a million miles away, but no.
Go on then. Sentence.
I'm raging. I got 50'd by some old doll last night outside the cinema.
rejected by a bird.
Not exactly rejected.
You got ID'd.
No, not exactly rejected, but pretty close. Stood up, like 50. So basically, what I love about it, the explanation is only 50% of the people turned up for the date. So that's why they call it 50. Right?
Oh, that's amazing.
So it's I'll give you.
No. I don't think I don't deserve that one.
Do you not think so?
No.
Yeah, right.
That was different. I was thinking like.
I suppose it is.
Like you did the old lean in, and someone was like, "Get the fuck away from me!"
No, this person just did not turn up. Basically.
Yeah,
so.
I should have said stood up. Rejected is different, I think. No, I won't take that one. I won't take that one. 50.
50.
Only 50.
When I read
only
the
50% of the people.
I remember even people there. I got 50 last night, but then it's not until you actually read the explanation.
Oh, so you didn't even really know where it came from?
I did. I knew what it meant, but I was
you
like,
didn't know where it came from.
When they have to, I love the translations. Like, as if you have to like explain it to the layman, like, and it's like only 50% of the couple turned up for that date, so I was 50.
So he could say like, he was proper septic, lamping at himself in the mirror, but maybe his bazza didn't look that good, so he got 50'd.
Yeah, exactly. He got stood up.
I'm learning, mate. I'm fucking learning. I can't wait to go to Cork and pull this shit out.
Then I'll be like,
like,
fuck.
Where are you from? Give me your Spondulix, mate. You want to bet 40 Spondulix on this pool game? No, it wasn't. You would say, it's not a Spondulic, is it? Spondulic is Spondulic.
To be honest with you, the
you wouldn't say, can I
Spondulies-
borrow 2 Spondulis 50, would you?
No, it is definitely.
It's not an increment
You
of
would
money.
no, you would never like 10 Spondulis. You would just like kind of go. I've got no Spondulis.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like give me 10 Spondulis.
I lost a lot of Spondulis at the horses or something.
Yeah, you might say that, but you'd never get specific about it. Like he owes me 10 Spondulis. Like,
No. Yeah,
it's just a term for like money. It's
Yeah.
not like a unit of money. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know where Spondulix came from. I feel like it might have been in.
I had a feeling that was.
I feel like Harry Enfield might have said it when he did that Yuppie.
He did, didn't he?
I don't know, maybe.
No, that was Dash, wasn't it?
He was like loads of money.
Yeah.
But he might have said Spondulix.
I think he threw Spondulis. You're right. You're right.
Anyway, mate.
But that was good.
Yeah.
3 points, so it's 8-4.
That's a good round for me.
Jesus, that was a big round.
I'm pleased. I'm coming at you next week.
Cool.
With Angolan slang. Alright, see you next week. Okay, we're moving on to TikTok review. I'm loving the fact that I'm 8-4 ahead in Slang Wars.
You are.
That's amazing to me.
And I'm kind of regretting being so kind on. But in fairness to you, I gave you kindness on the last one and you didn't take it, so that's good.
No. The last one, no. But I was pleased with it. I was pleased with the other two.
It's a good result. That's
Yeah.
a big score for because last week I only scored like 2 or something. So
Yeah,
it's
we'll
good.
see how it goes next week. So TikTok review.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm not going to lie to you. I actually decided today not to do the norm. I wanted to go like completely different.
Controversial.
Very controversial. So there's no Russians. There's no Olympic event.
What?
There's no. It was. I just wanted to give people a change, but then as I swear I'm not lying now. I spent at least 2 hours looking for some stuff, and I only found 2 videos that I would be willing to throw up here tonight. So I'm thinking about like.
Let me tell you. Can I tell you something interesting that I read about TikTok recently? In TikTok on February 28th, they released a new app called Avatarify.
Yeah.
Now I wouldn't even know about this except that
Jack
Jack's.
does them a lot.
Oh yeah, you must have seen it.
Yeah.
Did you see the one he sent? Oh no, because he only sent it to me. But I think his daughter was. doing
No,
it.
I seen it on the group chat. Like,
But he sent me one with my face going yeah, and it changes your whole face. That's now been banned.
Good.
It's been taken off Douyin TikTok.
Good.
5 days later, it was taken off.
I don't know why, but
Well, no, they said it was because it might. They said unscrupulous people can use it against your privacy, and I was very confused. I didn't really understand what that meant. I
Because
think
it looks fucking. Do
you know what-
anybody who says that looks real? It doesn't look real because.
But I think
basically it's a still picture, and then your head is moving around. If anybody thinks that that's really you singing my yo, they're a moron.
Well, no, but I think what they were saying was that I think they were saying it uses AI, it uses artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
that app. And they were saying it might unscrupulous people can use it to invade people's privacy, and they were worried about how people can fake news. So I did start to think
No, but-
it could I'd said they were a little bit.
Because I've seen there's what they're called. What are they called? Deep fakes or something like that.
Yeah.
Where basically they can get Obama to turn around and go, here, your man went down
Yeah.
to the fucking shop and got a Bazzer the other day, and it looks like him and it sounds like
Yeah.
him. I want to say,
I think that's what they were concerned about.
I think that shit should be banned because, okay, what do we need that for?
Well, it's funny.
Is it? Yeah, but is it?
It made me laugh.
Is it funny if you make the president of the United States of America say that he likes to fucking stick a wine bottle up his arse when he never ever said that? I don't think that's. I think okay.
It's kind of funny.
On the moment,
I know
it's
what you
funny,
mean. I know what you
but
mean.
Okay, so then me and you would take that and go, let's make Joe Biden say that he likes to
Just don't say
one
it.
of those beers that we
I know what you mean.
a cheesy, frothy,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
badger drinking beer, right?
I think
But
the
what-
point is they can
but-
get them to say anything, can't they?
Yeah, so me and you would get him to say like I like craft beer or whatever, but and another motherfucker might turn around and go, oh, let's fucking terminate all blah blah blah.
I
And-
knew you don't. I know what you're saying, but yeah.
So like, but I think it's fantastic that we can do that kind of stuff, but I don't think this is necessary. This is almost like forgery, right? It's almost like making an app that can fake somebody's signature.
Yeah.
Because the problem is that something can live on the internet on like maybe our YouTube channel that, Joe Biden said that he is for the killing of, all people all people that like Jacob's Creek, right? Like I could have a little clip of him saying that on my and he doesn't know that that's there, and it looks like him and it sounds like him. So somebody's going to believe that, Joe Biden likes Jacob's Creek. He might fucking hate Jacob's Creek, right? But my point is, what's the purpose of that app?
Well, what's the purpose of having an app where you can put cat ears on you?
Yeah, but that's just funny. That is literally, you look at that and you just go, that's a joke, right? But if somebody is like literally themselves sitting in front of you, sounding like that person, and even speaking the way that person would speak, and then telling you something that you know they didn't say, but we know, but unfortunately there's millions and millions of people that don't know that. I don't see the purpose to this. Some apps you can you like misuse them and like they have a good purpose. This is, apart from having a joke and a laugh, it has no real purpose.
No, that's true. Yeah.
And
to be honest, even like you're talking about big political things, but even on a personal level, you might be able to change. You might be able to have a video of someone that you know, and change their face into saying something about somebody else, or maybe a fake admission of some kind that might cause somebody to commit like a violent act against somebody else. You know what I mean? That could actually fucking happen.
Or like before, like you show me a video of me saying that, and then all of a sudden they can pull out a video of you saying that, and you're like, but I didn't say that, and now it's your word against. Unless you can get like FBI forensics in there to go, no, that's a fake. But like most people don't have access to the fucking CIA or FBI like that type of level. I don't see. Look, I don't mind if it's like really, if it's like really shit like I don't mind doing a bit of photoshopping, but I always try to leave them shit so that people look at them and go, clearly photoshopped, right? So I cartoonize our heads and stuff so that people are not going like, oh Jesus, did he meet Gordon Ramsay?
Well, like I said, I mean, all I'm saying is I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying, I just thought it was very interesting that, you know, like you said, you're probably right. Like in the West, I guess you can do this in the West too. And I'm sure
that's where.
And what will happen is they'll try to ban it in like 2 years when something like this happens. China sees it in 4 days. They're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
It cannot be used for good
No.
because it's always lies. So
It's 100% deceiving, and
So
the
you
problem
literally-
is it's so fucking good,
Even if
that
you-
you can't tell the
Yeah.
difference.
Even if you made someone's face say something good, that could be protecting that guy who was actually bad. So it's always false. So
But basically, the funny you mentioned it. This guy, I'm sick of everything on TikTok. It was actually very painful for me, but I found this gentleman and I just love him. He's a Chinese lad. I think he's fairly well on, but his dancing is just fucking hypnotic. So I'll just show you this.
let's have a look. Is it real though?
Yeah.
He's got some moves on him.
But it's
got
a
some
shame.
moves on
It's
him.
a
He's got some
shame.
moves on him.
I now wish I had picked the other one because he did do that. It's like him and his mother and father are standing next to them, and they're trying to stand as still as possible, but they're doing this like my but they're all and like his mother and father are trying to do it, but he's doing it brilliantly, and then he kicks off.
Is
into
that
one
real
of these,
though?
Yeah, no, that is real.
How
That
do
is
you
real.
know?
Yeah, but what's real? What's not fake, right? But no, I've watched like 5 or 6 of his videos. This dude, like, I will say, there's loads and loads of pretty Chinese girls dancing on the fucking on TikTok.
They can't dance, can they?
They can't dance for fucking shit. I'm sorry, they're beautiful looking girls, but they can't dance for shit. This guy is not a very attractive man. He's probably in his like late 40s or whatever else.
Oh mate, he's like
he can fucking move, this guy.
mate, he's like a 2021 John Travolta, that dude.
Yeah, but he's also taking the piss. There's another one where he's cleaning down a ghetto blaster. I didn't pick the best one because I kind of wanted to introduce him. But now I wish I bought it.
No, I'll look forward to it.
I think he's going to replace like
Serge.
maybe not replace him, but like I'm going to bring this guy more and more. He's fucking fantastic.
I'd love to have a sit down with him, Serge, that kid who can kick bottles about, and one of the fucking guys that was slapping shit out of someone in that 83-acre field.
And
What a dinner party that would be.
And I have one more. This is literally the only one that made me laugh today, like out loud. And it's only 10 seconds, so I don't. Like I say, I don't like seeing anybody getting hurt, but I was like, I don't think she got hurt, to be honest. But immediately I was like, love, what are you at, like?
Ooh, shit. I think she's okay.
No, she's definitely okay, like.
What was she trying to do?
I think she meant when she got to the edge there, a better jump, but she's a big lady, and the legs probably went, you're going nowhere, love.
Exactly, it was like that.
It's like me trying to do it. Like, I'm not taking the piss out of her weight now or anything, but it's like that heavyweight running thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was like that. Yeah.
Because I did that recently, right? I'm like similar size to that lady. Like, I like one day Danny challenged me to a race, and I fucking took off, and I was like halfway through, it was like the legs want to do it, but it's not going to happen, man.
I think like a lot of big people, they in their mind they're like, it's physically possible.
So she thought
It's
she
no
was going to
problem.
like run and then jump, but she just kept running down the hill, like. But
She was fucking lucky, actually.
yeah, it could have ended up worse. But that's why I showed it. If she had got hurt, I wouldn't have shown it. I had like. But
The bravery is amazing.
I'm going to be honest with you, mate. I'm about to give up on the TikTok thing unless we just continue like with people like this gentleman and Serge and that.
Newsflash.
The rest of it is just all I'm getting now. I don't even like football that much. All I'm getting is like the likes of Messi and that, like doing stuff. Girls that are very, very beautiful but can't dance for shit dancing, and like food ones. I mean, nobody's like I love watching them because I'm like, oh, now I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat something, but Nobody's interested in that. Like,
It's no Sweet Valley High, is it?
It's just shite. Like it's I'm sorry to say it, but I've been totally disillusioned.
So this is amazing because when we started this 10 episodes ago,
Yeah.
you were trying to get me into TikTok, and I was like, TikTok's gash.
Yeah.
And over 10 episodes of you trying to persuade me, you're now like, fuck TikTok. Maybe we'll...
Basically, what I'm saying is, I am now saying TikTok is shite. Prove me wrong.
Good. Change my mind.
Yeah. Change my mind.
Done.
Current affairs. As always, it's going to be Finn bring us probably a somber story and maybe a good story. Let's see.
Well, no. I mean, like, this week's a bit different, actually, because I was a bit annoyed with Panda Guys this week.
Me too, but I'm just going to see if it's the same reason.
Basically, ever since we found out that Panda Guides was just kind of collating news stories from other newspapers, now I check every time when I read the story. And there were a lot of stories this week. And I was reading them going, because they're not from Asia. A lot of them from Brazil, a lot of from Russia. And basically, I was looking down and like every single story seemed to have been taken from the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
No, I and also I think I've noticed it in the last 2 weeks. They're not just Panda Guides, but it's like one of our news sources will come out with a story, and 15 minutes later, Panda Guides, Sixth Sense, Tangent Expats or whatever, they'll all come up with the exact same story, but with just like maybe
Really?
a few words of their own in there. But
Well, all I was thinking, the absolute last thing I want our current affairs section to become is
Lazy
us
journalism.
talking about stories from the fucking Daily Mail
yeah, exactly.
or the Sun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every now and again it's fine, but the Daily Mail is a shite newspaper.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So anyway, so today I deliberately chose 2 stories that weren't sourced from the Daily Mail.
Okay.
Like there were a couple of interesting stories that were sourced from the Daily Mail, but I guess
Sure, anybody can just go and buy the
Well, yeah.
Daily Mail if they want to.
Well, you
do
guys
that,
have heard them stories before. So the first story I had was about a zoo in China. It was in let me find. It was in Xianing in Hubei province. I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, I just don't know how to react to this. But they some people started complaining because they went to the zoo and they went to the wolf enclosure. Have you read the story?
No.
They went to the wolf enclosure and they were looking at the wolves, and there was a wolf in there, and there was also just a dog.
I had a feeling you were going to... I didn't know this story, but I had a feeling.
And I just thought, what is going on? What's going on in the zoos in China? So literally there was just a dog in the wolf paddock with the wolves, and all the people in China were going, "That's definitely not a wolf." I mean,
Theoretically, he is, but because
No,
all dogs are descendants of wolves.
all right. Well, if you go to the but you can see a dog anywhere.
Yeah,
You go to the zoo, you want to see a fucking wolf.
you don't want to see a fucking poodle.
And if you look at the photo, look at it. I mean, how did they expect to get away with that? And so it's just a strange story, really. They said, they started to netizens, which is a big buzzword over here, isn't it? Do people use netizens?
Netzines, I thought it was. But anyway, yeah.
Is that what you say, netzines? But yeah, they started, apparently they started sending photos going, we went to see the wolves and it was just a fucking dog. and it basically was a dog, and they said there was a wolf, but the wolf had died.
So we replaced it with a poodle.
So they popped the dog in there. Apparently it was like some dog, it wasn't just some random dog either, it was a dog that had been used as a security dog in the zoo to stop people trespassing in the zoo.
Probably one of the wolves' mates, so
they just they were like, oh, one of the wolves has died, but on the advertisements it says we've got 2 wolves. Oh, just get that security dog. Get that security dog out. Pop him in there. It's just so obviously not a wolf though.
yeah.
That I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking. But then there's some other. That's basically the story, really. And the some other stories coming out that said that there was another zoo in central China in Henan province, and people were complaining that they'd gone to see a bear, but it looked like a man dressed up as a bear.
I wouldn't be surprised. Be surprised.
However, it does say, I quote, however, this was denied by staff who said that would be impossible. I mean, that does sound weird, doesn't it? However, it does say in 2019, there was a human dressed up as a gorilla in a zoo. And then when people complained, the zoo said that it was just supposed to be an April Fool's Day joke. Now, it doesn't say if it was on April 1st, I don't know, but what the fuck's going on?
Is that even a thing in China?
What the fuck's going on in zoos in China? They run out of animals and they just
budget,
pop something else in? I mean, zoos in China they've had some bad press, haven't they?
And rightly so, too, to be honest with you. Have you ever been to Tianjin Zoo?
I've been to a couple of zoos in China, yeah.
It's a bit rough, But, I've been to the Natural History Museum here in Tianjin, which is actually fantastic and very educational. But it's all just models of, dinosaurs, but also they have, tigers and lions and stuff. What's wrong with that? And, the kids are, fascinated by it. There's no risk of anybody getting killed, and there's no
cruelty. An amazing thing happened in East Yorkshire this week.
Okay.
It was on where was it? It was it was shot by someone from the Flamborough Bird Observatory on Tuesday morning from the Flamborough Head, which I guess is in East Yorkshire on the coast, so it's kind of near Hull. But he had a picture. Oh, I can't show you the picture, but he had a. Apparently there was a pod of dolphins going past, going towards the North Sea, which happens quite often. But apparently But he managed to shoot a photo of one of the dolphins, jumping out the air, splashing out the air. You know, dolphins are awesome, aren't they? They are awesome, aren't they?
Yeah, they're amazing. And
that came from Hull Daily Mail. So. But that's an amazing thing. That's the kind of nature I like to see.
Although there was I'm not saying that this is true for the dolphins, but I remember there was a couple of whales swam up the Thames once, and there was a couple. I think that
happens quite often.
They swam up the Lee as well. But seemingly that's it's kind of basically like a funeral. One of them's going to die, so they swim up the river.
This wasn't like that. They were heading, they're just heading across the North Sea like a normal sort of migration or some shit. But I just love the fact that dolphins were seen near Hull.
Yeah.
You know, that's amazing.
It's good. It's good. Dolphins are awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's current affairs basically. Wildlife. Let's leave it in the wild. I've always thought that.
I think so.
I don't even like having pets. Just leave animals where they're supposed to be, outside, in the jungle, in the sea. All right, current affairs.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was episode 11. I'm doing the editing at the moment, and it seems we forgot to record an outro, or it's been misplaced. So you're stuck with me alone. I just want to say thanks everybody for listening. There are a few changes in the way, and we're trying to get them out every week, but we're struggling with that a little bit because Finn is back to his full schedule at work, and I'm doing a lot of minding my kids. But in another few weeks, we should be able to get back on track with that. And like I said, there are a few changes coming. We do plan, and we have been planning for a while, to have guests and things like that. But again, because of our schedules, it's a little bit difficult to kind of get that done. But yeah. So hope you like this episode, and we'll talk to you again next week or the week after. Good luck.